7 now, which is unbelievable.
He gets meaner by the day.
Yeah.
You think it's not possible?
Oh, no, he just gets
Stronger.
more honest, Joe.
He's good, yeah.
More honest.
Yeah.
But his staff, the NSC threw the party, and the family was there. It was Condoleezza Rice, Madeleine Albright, General Odom, Bob Gates. These are the guys and women who worked for him on both sides of the aisle, who've become the greats, but worked for him because he wanted to be challenged. And, you know, then you look at the media, and there's a whole section of the media where nobody wants to be challenged anymore. They just go to their corners. All these things are components of gridlock being a bad thing instead of a good thing.
Well, Governor, when you and I were working in Sacramento together, I watched you use gridlock as the mechanism by which to get Democrats to compromise and Republicans to compromise, and both sides did things that they swore they would never do when they rose their hand and took their oath of office. You used gridlock in order to get major welfare reform, cuts in spending. You even used gridlock to get the very open primary on the ballot that we're discussing as part here today. Could you have done that without gridlock, and how did you get through it?
Well, first of all, I believe also that you have to have sometimes gridlock, but it depends also how long. For how long do you want to go on? I mean, what is going on in the United States right now, I mean, I think we had enough.
Right.
I mean, I think there's nothing getting done
No.
for years and years and years. You cannot point at anything that was accomplished in Washington, and we're spending $2.5 billion every year on the Capitol and all of those people that work there for nothing. And, you know, not immigration reform, not the really good health care reform. You know, the budget is in the shambles, more debt is adding up. I mean, all this stuff, and no energy policy and all this. I mean, where are we going? So I think it's enough of the gridlock. I cannot call that gridlock any more positive or constructive. I think we had temporary gridlock in California, and you're absolutely right. I mean, especially when it came to the budget. I mean, you can imagine a Republican governor and the Democratic legislature. I mean, you know, we all of a sudden were in a recession in 2007, and they wanted to continue spending. So, of course, they wouldn't sign the budget. So there was, you know, a standoff, and it went on. It dragged out until actually beginning of October when we finally signed the budget. But in return, then, we got all kinds of concessions, which was great. So we used the gridlock to our advantage, and the rainy day fund and all kinds of reforms. And so I think on the end it is important to work together. And I have to just go back to what you guys said about hating. There was no one in Sacramento that I hated. I mean, these were all people that worked really hard, and they just had a different philosophy.